The airplane door opens, and a wall of unfamiliar air hits your face. Your pockets are heavy with strange currency, your phone desperately searching for a signal, mirroring your own disorientation. In this suspended moment, you realize you are completely on your own. Leaving behind every familiar comfort is more than a change of scenery. It's an emotional demolition. The first 6 months abroad aren't a holiday. They're a psychological crucible where your old identity cracks and something new begins to form. If you're staring at an unfamiliar ceiling, wondering what you've done, know this. Feeling lost is the first step to finding a new version of yourself. Moving abroad isn't a straight line from arrival to belonging. It's a messy, emotional odyssey. The first weeks are a blur of decoding labels, navigating transit, and surviving bureaucracy. Adrenaline keeps you going, but it fades, leaving a silence that forces you to confront the scale of your change. The first 180 days are a 3-act play, surviving the adrenaline crash, enduring the silent valley of loneliness, and finally, rebirth into quiet competence. This guide will walk you through each phase, not just to survive, but to understand and master them. You're not just learning a new place, you're forging a stronger, more capable self. Understanding the process is the first step to mastering it. The first weeks are a blur, every moment a test, every interaction a puzzle. You're running on adrenaline, conquering tasks that feel monumental, finding an apartment, opening a bank account, navigating daily life. This is the deceptive honeymoon, intoxicating, but unsustainable. Beneath the surface, your nervous system is working overtime, quietly draining your reserves. Recognize this phase for what it is, a temporary, stress-fueled high. Enjoy the small wins, but don't mistake this energy for your new normal. The real adjustment begins when the adrenaline fades. Then, suddenly, the adrenaline fades and silence descends. The city hums outside, but inside, the quiet is deafening. A stark reminder of everything you've left behind. The absence of familiar sounds creates a void, magnifying your solitude. With the rush over, your mind finally processes the magnitude of your move. Homesickness sets in, and doubt creeps up. What have I done? You feel disconnected from both your old life and your new one. A ghost in a city that doesn't yet feel like yours. This isn't failure, it's a universal stage. Learning to sit with discomfort and find your footing in the stillness. In the quiet crash, there comes a night that feels like a breaking point. The imposter drop. Surrounded by half-unpacked boxes, the urge to give up feels overwhelming. It's not failure. It's your brain mourning the loss of your old life and the person you were. You feel like an imposter performing in a world whose rules you're still learning. The desire to flee is human, not weakness. Recognize the imposter drop as a milestone, not a defeat. Feel it, write it down, cry it out, but don't act on the urge to quit. Surviving this storm is your first unseen victory. When everything around you is new, chaotic, and unpredictable, your nervous system craves stability. It is searching for a pattern, a signal that amidst all the foreignness, there is a small corner of the world you can rely on. This is where the power of one micro-routine comes in. It is about deliberately creating a single, predictable anchor in your day. This is not about structuring your entire life or becoming a productivity guru overnight. It is about choosing one small, repeatable action that can ground you when you feel like you are adrift in a sea of uncertainty. It is a simple yet profoundly effective psychological trick. This anchor can be anything, as long as it is consistent and involves engaging with your new environment in a small, manageable way. It could be buying your morning coffee from the same local cafe every day at 8 o'clock in the morning. It could be taking the same 10-minute walk through a nearby park after work. It could be purchasing your fresh bread from the same friendly baker, even if all you can manage is a smile and a pointed finger. The act itself is less important than the repetition. By forcing this tiny slice of predictability onto an otherwise chaotic day, you are sending a powerful message to your brain. I am safe here. I have a place here. I belong. The beauty of the micro-routine is its simplicity. When you are feeling overwhelmed, the thought of making friends or integrating into the culture can feel like climbing a mountain, but buying a croissant? That is a small hill you can conquer every single day. This one routine becomes a small island of familiarity. The barista begins to recognize you and offers a nod. The baker might start to have your usual order ready. These micro-interactions are not deep friendships, but they are threads of connection. They are proof that you are becoming a recognizable part of the local tapestry, no longer an invisible stranger. This single, stable point in your day has a ripple effect. It gives you a reason to get out of bed on days when loneliness feels crushing. It provides a simple structure when you feel aimless. Most importantly, it builds a foundation of confidence. Successfully navigating this one small part of your day proves that you can handle this new world. It is a daily dose of competence that slowly accumulates, building your resilience brick by brick. In the early months, when big victories are scarce, do not underestimate the immense psychological power of having one small, familiar routine to call your own. It is your first step from surviving to staying. During the adrenaline hangover, it is tempting to try and do everything at once. You see other expats on social media seemingly living their best lives, attending glamorous parties, and forming instant deep friendships. The pressure to build a vibrant social life and fully immerse yourself in the culture from day one can be immense. But trying to build the roof of your house before you have laid the foundation will only lead to collapse. In these first 1 to 2 months, your priority is not to thrive, it is to survive. And survival means securing your foundational pillars first. Give yourself permission to focus on the boring, practical, and essential. Think of these administrative tasks not as tedious chores, but as a critical professional mission. Your objective is clear: establish a stable base of operations. This means focusing ruthlessly on the hierarchy of needs for a new arrival. Is your housing situation secure and stable? Have you completed all the necessary legal and visa documentation? Do you have a functioning local bank account and a realistic budget? Have you figured out how to pay your bills and access healthcare? These are the unglamorous but non-negotiable building blocks of your new life. Without them, no amount of socializing or exploring will give you a true sense of security. Treating this process like a job helps to depersonalize the stress and frustration. When a government agency loses your paperwork, or a utility company puts you on hold for an hour, it is not a personal attack or a sign that you are failing. It is simply a logistical problem to be solved, a professional challenge to overcome. This mindset shift is crucial. It allows you to approach bureaucracy with persistence and strategy rather than emotional exhaustion. Celebrate each completed form and every successful phone call as a major project milestone. You are not just filling out paperwork. You are building the very platform from which your new life will be launched. By narrowing your focus to these foundational elements, you are also being kind to your future self. Securing your base early on prevents a cascade of problems down the line. A stable home, legal status, and financial control are the bedrock of your well-being. Once these are in place, you will have the mental and emotional bandwidth to start looking outwards, to explore, to connect, and to build a community. So for now, forget the pressure to have an amazing social life. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to become an expert in your own survival. Master the basics first, the rest will follow. By month 3, the novelty fades, and you enter what I call the Silent Valley, a period of profound quiet and in-betweenness. You're no longer a newcomer, but not yet a local. Life back home moves on without you. You watch birthdays and family gatherings through your phone, a spectator to a world you can't touch. This is the great unmooring. Loneliness becomes a constant companion, and the temptation to retreat into your old life is immense. But the Silent Valley isn't a place to stay. It's a terrain to navigate, the most challenging and transformative part of your journey. In a new city, your phone is both a lifeline and an anchor, connecting you to loved ones, but keeping you tied to the past. Living in two worlds, you're never fully present in either, and it's emotionally draining. The first step is to shift your focus from looking back to looking around. Set boundaries, schedule calls, and allow yourself to be present in your new environment. Notice your surroundings. Give your new life a chance to breathe. When you move somewhere new, the pressure to find a best friend can feel overwhelming. But deep bonds take time. Instead, focus on building an acquaintance web, a network of casual, low-stakes connections. Share brief greetings, small chats, and simple smiles with people you meet. These micro-connections are like small lights in a dark room, slowly illuminating your world. Over time, these familiar faces create a sense of belonging, your new web of connection. Some days, the weight of isolation feels like a lead blanket, pinning you to your bed. The inertia of sadness feeds on itself, making it harder to move. That's when I use the 20-minute grace rule. Set a timer and give yourself permission to feel everything for 20 minutes. When the timer ends, take one small action. Stand up, wash your face, step outside. Motion breaks the spell. Even a short walk can shift your perspective and help you reclaim your day. As you navigate the silent valley, using strategies like building your acquaintance web and the 20-minute rule, something subtle begins to change. Small moments of ease, green sprouts of belonging, start to appear, pushing through the hard ground of your new life. You give directions to a tourist, chat with a local, or recognize a street name. Suddenly, you feel like a local, even if just for a moment. The barista knows your order, the bus driver nods, and you hum along to a song you didn't realize you'd learned. These are the trail markers of your journey, proof you're not just surviving, but quietly putting down roots. Somewhere around the 5-month mark, a quiet miracle begins to unfold. It does not arrive with a fanfare or a sudden epiphany. Instead, it creeps in so subtly that you might miss it if you are not paying attention. You will be on your way home from work, lost in thought about your day, when you suddenly realize you have navigated 3 changes on the subway system without once looking at a map or consulting your phone. The complex web of colored lines and unfamiliar station names that once felt like an impossible code is now imprinted in your mind. You just knew where to go, which platform to stand on, and which direction to face. This is the dawn of unconscious competence. This newfound autopilot is not limited to public transport. It extends into countless areas of your daily life. You will find yourself handling a difficult administrative phone call, perhaps disputing a bill or rearranging a delivery, without your heart racing or your palms sweating. The phrases you need, once practiced and rehearsed, now flow with a surprising ease. You understand the bureaucratic cadence, you know which department to ask for, and you can hold your own. The constant, exhausting mental effort of your first few months has been replaced by a smoother, more instinctual way of operating. You are no longer just surviving, you are functioning, and functioning well. This phase represents a fundamental shift in your brain's processing. For months, it has been working overtime, consciously learning, memorizing, and decoding a torrent of new information. Now, those learned behaviors are being transferred to your subconscious. The mental energy that was once consumed by basic survival tasks is now freed up. You start to have the capacity to notice things beyond your immediate needs. The beautiful architecture you walk past every day, the changing seasons in the local park, the intricate social dynamics playing out in your workplace. Your world expands from a narrow tunnel of survival into a wide panoramic view. This emerging competence feels like a weight being lifted from your shoulders, a weight you did not even realize you were carrying. The constant low-level anxiety that has been your companion for months begins to recede. You start to trust yourself more. You have proven, through hundreds of small, repeated actions, that you can handle this new environment. This is not the cocky, adrenaline-fueled confidence of the first few weeks. This is something deeper, quieter, and far more profound. It is a confidence that has been earned through struggle, a self-assurance forged in the fires of loneliness and uncertainty. The horizon is clearing because you are finally tall enough to see over the obstacles. At first, every purchase in your new city is a mental conversion, constantly comparing prices to your old currency, clinging to a familiar sense of value. But one day, you pay for groceries or a ticket without thinking twice. The price is simply the price. you've internalized the new system. This shift means you're no longer a visitor. You're starting to belong, experiencing life as it is, not as a comparison. As you emerge from the silent valley, you begin to realize that the person who navigated the bureaucracy, endured the loneliness, and learned the unwritten rules of a new culture is not the same person who boarded that plane 6 months ago. That person was defined by their relationships, their career, their history, a whole ecosystem of external validation. This new person, the one staring back at you from the mirror in your foreign flat, is different. You have been stripped of your familiar context, and in that void, you have been forced to build a new identity from the ground up, one based on an entirely new foundation, true self-reliance. You are no longer just someone's daughter or son, someone's old university friend, or a former employee of that company back home. You are now, first and foremost, a person who can handle displacement. You are a person who can decipher complex legal documents in a second language. You are a person who can build a semblance of community from scratch. You are a person who can sit with profound loneliness and not let it break you. These experiences have endowed you with a rare and powerful kind of psychological currency. You have proven to yourself in the most visceral way possible that you can depend on you. This newfound self-reliance makes you dangerous in the best possible way. It makes you resilient. It makes you adaptable. It makes you unafraid of uncertainty, because you have lived in its very heart and come out the other side. The fear of failure, which may have haunted you before your move, has been replaced by the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can handle setbacks. You have faced the worst-case scenarios, feeling utterly alone, lost and incompetent, and you have survived them. What then is there left to truly fear? This realization is incredibly liberating, freeing you to take more risks, to be more authentic, and to pursue your goals with a newfound tenacity. Owning this new identity is a conscious choice. It involves looking back at the struggles of the past few months, not as a series of painful events, but as a training ground that has forged your strength. It means taking pride in the person you have become. You are not an imposter anymore. You have earned your place here through sheer grit and perseverance. This identity is not something that was given to you. It is something you built, piece by painful piece. It is yours. And as you step out into the world with this quiet knowledge, you carry yourself differently. You walk with the posture of someone who knows, without a doubt, that they are strong enough to stand on their own. The journey of the first 6 months abroad is filled with monumental achievements that will never appear on a CV and will never be acknowledged by anyone but you. There are no award ceremonies for successfully registering with the local council. No one is going to throw you a party because you finally figured out the arcane local recycling system or navigated a complex automated phone menu in a foreign language. These are the unseen victories, the quiet, solitary triumphs that form the true backbone of your adaptation process. And because no one else will celebrate them for you, it is absolutely essential that you learn to celebrate them for yourself. These small wins are far more significant than they appear. Every successfully filled out form, every pleasant chat with a neighbor, every meal you cook with unfamiliar ingredients, each one is a brick in the fortress of your new life. They are tangible proof of your growing competence and resilience. To let them pass by unnoticed is to ignore the very evidence of your progress. You must create your own rituals of celebration. Buy yourself a small treat after conquering a bureaucratic hurdle. Take a moment to sit in a park and savor the feeling of pride after a successful social interaction. Consciously pause and say to yourself, "I did that. That was hard, and I did it." This act of self-acknowledgement is not about ego. It is about psychological reinforcement. It is about training your brain to recognize progress and associate the challenges of your new life with a sense of accomplishment rather than just stress and anxiety. When you celebrate an unseen victory, you are validating your own efforts. You are being your own cheerleader, your own supportive parent, your own best friend. In the absence of your old support network, you must learn to become your own primary source of encouragement. This is a vital skill for long-term well-being and success in any new environment. Create a victory log in a journal or a note on your phone. At the end of each week, write down 3 small things you accomplished that you are proud of. It could be as simple as I asked for help in a shop and understood the answer, or I didn't feel anxious on my commute today. When you are having a difficult day or feeling a wave of self-doubt, you can look back at this log. It serves as an undeniable, concrete record of your strength and progress. It is a private monument to your own tenacity, a reminder that even when it feels like you are standing still, you are constantly moving forward, one unseen victory at a time. As month 6 ends, the horizon is clear. You have weathered the adrenaline hangover, trekked through the silent valley, and emerged transformed. The scars you carry are proof of your resilience, a legacy of struggle, not damage. You've forged a dangerous strength, true independence, the quiet knowledge you can survive anywhere. The legacy of these days is not the struggle, but the strength and self-knowledge you've earned for life. Comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. The pain and discomfort you feel in your first months abroad aren't signs of failure. They're proof of your potential expanding. You didn't cross oceans and say hard goodbyes to stay the same. You came to grow. Like a muscle, you grow stronger through challenge and strain. The pain is not the enemy. It is the process. You are being forged in this fire. You are not just moving abroad. You are moving forward. As you stand at the 6-month mark, with the clear horizon stretching out before you, it is important to look back and honor the journey. When you look back at this exact period a year from now, or even 10 years from now, the details of the struggle will have faded. You will not remember the specific taste of the loneliness on that one Tuesday night in month 3. You will not recall the precise shade of frustration you felt in that government office. What you will remember, with a clarity that will surprise you, is the exact moment you realized you were strong enough to survive anywhere on Earth. That is the true legacy of this time. This journey is not just about you. It is about the legacy you are building, the path you are forging for those who will follow, and the example you are setting for those watching from afar. You came here to grow, to provide, to build, and to see what you were made of. And now you know. You are made of resilience. You are made of courage. You are made of the quiet tenacity that gets you out of bed on the hard days and the grace to celebrate the small victories. This is the story you will one day tell, not as a tale of hardship, but as the origin story of your own strength. The most important thing to remember as you take your next steps on this road is that you are not, and never have been, truly alone. Every single person who has ever made this journey has walked through their own silent valley. They have faced their own imposter drop and celebrated their own unseen victories. Your story is unique, but your feelings are universal. There is a vast, invisible community of souls scattered across the globe who know exactly the kind of strength it took for you to get to this point. They are nodding in recognition, cheering you on from their own corners of the world. So, keep your head up. Take a deep, steadying breath of this air that now feels a little more like home. Feel the solid ground beneath your feet, the ground you have earned the right to stand on. The hardest part is behind you, and the person you have become is ready for whatever comes next. The road ahead is yours to define. Take the next step, and then the one after that. You are stronger than you know. You are more capable than you ever dreamed. You have survived, you are beginning to thrive, and you are finding yourself. You've got this.